So now guys, the goat is joined with the sheep in here. We have two of these little goats here. We've been training them in our cattle trailer for the last couple of days. We had the sheep in there for a day or so, but she was already pretty well trained. And the goats have been exposed, but I just wanted a little bit more exposure to be sure. I really like a good training, especially with a goat. I know that goats are a little tough to keep in anyway. But I've gone ahead and turned her loose in here. Her brother or mate or whatever, I don't think it's actually her brother, but anyway, there's another male goat that is still in there. I think he's well trained, but he's a little on the wild side. So I kind of want to get him a little bit more. I don't need animals to be tame necessarily. This one right here is just a sweetheart, you know, so he doesn't necessarily have to be tame if he doesn't want to, you know. But this one really likes being around people. The main thing is I just don't want him to be so scared of me that he just takes off running and blast right through this stuff, you know. So we're gonna leave him in there a little bit longer. I've noticed male goats seem to be just a little bit more adventurous and more likely to be the ones to break out if anybody's going to break out. So I'm gonna leave him in there just a little bit longer, then moving that line, that one single wire, a little bit closer and a little bit closer. Don't want to crowd him so much that he has to go through or that he's uncomfortable. You know, we made sure we put some hay in there and fed him good. But anyway, so we just put that out there. But got one goat in here, so far she's doing good. She did touch it once, so at least she knew it was there, and she did right. She backed away from it. Seems to be doing pretty good. She is just a little on the thin side. She's been getting all that. We've actually been feeding her feed as well. She's not thin. She's not starving by any means. She's just a little on the hungry side. But we've given her hay, we've given her greens, and we've given her lots of feed. So what that tells me is that she got a little on the thin side, because see, the male is not thin at all. He's actually fat. So either the male's been kind of pushing around on her just a little bit, or it's just the situation. She was a little unhappy from being locked into that trailer, and that's possible too, and you need to keep an eye on that kind of thing. So we went ahead and pulled her out. She seems to be doing great. I'll do another little update. Keep an eye out for my YouTube shorts. Plan to be doing some more of those too. But anyway, we got these, we got the goat and the sheep in here now. We'll get the other one in here. We're gonna have them in here and try to get them to graze some of this eggplant leaves off. They do not like the eggplant itself. So we're gonna try to get them to graze the leaves off, since we're coming to the end of the season. We picked one more time. It did frost lightly last night. We've had 3 frosts so far, and they're not fully knocked back, so I am impressed with the eggplant for sure. And I do believe there are still some small ones on there. There's some blooms on there, but I think the blooms are going to be gone after this. I'm seeing some wilted blooms, but we'll see. We'll try to keep y'all updated on that as well with the eggplant. But the main thing is the goats and sheep do not eat. They don't eat the eggplant. The cows do, but goats, sheep, and pigs do not seem to care for the eggplant itself. So we're putting them in here to let them start eating the leaves off, eating all of the foliage before it turns brown. So they'll get a little bit of good out of that, and they'll also be in turn fertilizing that right there. The biggest reason I've got them in here is just because we are training them. We've only got a handful. We do not have a goat or a sheep operation right now, so we've only got a handful. So I just kind of want them to be a little bit closer so I can watch them. Learning, you know, I'm learning new stuff with this whole electric fence exposure to goats, you know, because we raised goats when I was a kid, and for several years, and anyway, we never used electric fence, and they would always get out. But we even had some places with net wire. We had several hog panels. I mean, we had some really foolproof fences, and there were still times that they still got out. But anyway, so I'm really excited about this whole concept of using electric fence for the goats. We use it for the cows. We use one wire, no problem.